Hello there, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to be doing 5 minutes of Reiki today, followed by just some reading time for whoever happens to show up here. And if you guys have questions and you want to do some chit chat, this is a great time to do some chit chat as well. Kind of get to know the mind of a mystic or a psychic, however you want to word that. But we're going to go ahead and start with the Reiki. And for the Reiki, what I'm going to do is set the intention for whatever is for your highest and best good, whatever that might happen to be. And if you have something more specific you would like to set the Reiki intention for, feel free to go ahead and do that for yourself. I do request that you keep the Reiki for yourself, not for somebody else, but whatever's highest and best good for you. So let's just get the Reiki started real quick. All right, so we're going to do Reiki until 14 after the hour because we're starting at 9 after the hour. Gabby, hello, hello. Glad to see you, honey. How are you? Rena, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. How are you doing today, my dear? What are you ladies going to use your Reiki for today? Thank you for the thumbs up, whoever did that. I appreciate that. Happy New Year is right. Happy New Year to everybody. I think maybe this is my first, I'm not sure if this is my first live of the new year. It might have been whenever I opened up my tarot deck from Ukraine. I can't remember what day I did that. Sunflower, hello, hello, welcome. Clarity. Oh, what kind of bizarre things? You've got my curiosity going. Angela Lukes, hello, hello. Continued upward health. We like that. That's a great intention. So far, it's starting out a little bit slow, but that gives me time to do some stuff. So I'm running. Hitting the ground running. How are you guys doing? Ba, ba, da, da, da. We have how many more minutes? 4 more minutes of Reiki. Somebody's really pulling a lot of Reiki towards the feet. So somebody may have literal physical foot issues, or we may have a situation where somebody is trying to figure out, what is my purpose? What way am I supposed to be going? Either one of those could be happening. Bum, ba-da-da. I feel like I kind of need to adjust this light. I don't know if I'm going to do more good or bad by doing that, but I feel like it's not interfering so much with the camera now. Ba-da-da-da. 3 more minutes left of Reiki. Mm-hmm. Rena, you haven't told us how you're doing yet. Sunflower, you haven't either. Is it that bad that you can't talk about it? If it is, don't say anything. You got pulled over. Oh my goodness. And you lost $100 bill. Ah, well, we've had Mars in retrograde since the end of October. I'm not sure where that would be, what house that would be for you. But that may be why you've got stuff like that going on. Hello there, Ms. Anne. Welcome, welcome. I'm fantastic, thank you. I figure any day when I'm alive and breathing is a darn good start. So many options from there. All within the past week, you got pulled over and you lost $100. Whew. Whew. Well, we had Mars retrograde plus we went Mercury retrograde was last week, so you've got both of them dancing around there. I know I had 5 or 6 videos that I recorded that basically, for all intents and purposes, had no sound. I had to run them through the editor and amp up the volume really big time. And I'm sure that was Mercury retrograde kicking in for me. Oh, that's why you're not saying much. Gotcha, Rena. Well, luckily, Spirit is not limited to your connection. So the Reiki can do its work for you either way. Not much, Miss Ann. We're doing the old traditional Reiki for 5 minutes and then readings. This isn't a box opening or anything like that this time. You never know. Somebody asked me to review a video. It looks like some preacher has videos that somebody wanted me to review a preacher's video. I thought that was an interesting request. Probably not exactly up my alley, though. Yeah, you hit enter too soon, Miss Angela. We're still doing Reiki. You know how I am. Things are moving fast for you, trying to catch up. That was me through the end of the year. I think I have finally hit a space where I'm like, okay, I can breathe now. And thank goodness, it was getting pretty intense. I figured it was, Miss Angela. That's interesting. And I'm not against religion or religious beliefs, people that believe in God. I'm not against all that. I believe in God. I'm actually Christian myself. But I think there's a lot of oppression in many different variations of the church. And so I keep my eyes wide open when they start talking to me, if you know what I mean. Okay, we're going to wrap up the Reiki. And let's see, how are we going to do it this time? I think what we're going to do is we're going to have people pick numbers. So let's see, we've got 4 people in the room right now. Guys, pick a number between 1 and 8. I've already got a number in my brain. Whoever comes up with that number first will be the first person I read for. Number between 1 and 8. 5 is not it. 3 is not it. 8 is not it. Hi, One Divine Path. Welcome. 7, Sunflower. Sunflower, you won. I guess I should pull out some cards, shouldn't I? Let's clear some cards and get ready. Meanwhile, what do you guys want to talk about? We can chit-chat in between readings if you want. Bum-ba-da-da. My dad actually just got me a book for Christmas called The Golden Key and 22 Other Essays. I think that's what it's called. It's definitely very much from a preacher type of perspective. Talks about prayer and how prayer always works, actually. Message from Spirit for Miss Sunflower. Okie dokie. I've just got my Lenormand deck cleared in case I need clarifiers. I almost said in case I need clarifiers. Not the same. Let's clear that tarot deck, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. Okay, Ms. Rena. All right, honey bunny. Sleep well. Have a good night. Are those your tomato plants on your picture? By the way, before you leave, if she hasn't already left. These pictures come across really tiny for me, so I can't see them real well, but it makes me think that you've got some beautiful tomato plants or beautiful flowers, something happening there that's wonderful. Bum ba da da dum, bum ba da da, sunflower. Okay. Okay, peace out, Miss Rena. Sunflower, sunflower, sunflower. Here we go, my dear. Message from Spirit for Miss Sunflower. What do we have showing up here? Okay, first 2 cards are your situation. The next 3 cards are best advice or heads up around that situation. So when we're looking at your situation, we're starting off with a 9 of Cups in reverse, followed by, or covered by, the Six of Wands in reverse. Ooh, 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 ooh. Sunflower. Okay, so you've got a situation where you're putting in energy and effort on something that not only benefits yourself, but benefits others as well. However, you're feeling really restless and like you want to find some ways to make some changes, because whatever it is you're doing that benefits yourself and other people is not being, you're not being compensated for it very well. Somebody's not appreciating it. You're feeling really restless about that, so you may be getting ready to make some changes. Let's see, best advice or heads up for you, Miss Sunflower. All right. Lamanda. This will be the World showing up in reverse. What is this? The Nine of Batons. Okay. And the Two of Denier, or the Two of Coins. All right, so Sunflower, what do we have? What do we have? Okay, so basically whatever this is that you're doing, that you're hoping that people would appreciate or pay you well for, whichever way appreciate works out for you in your life, you're on the right track, but there's some fine-tuning that needs to happen. For me, the World in reverse says, well, close. This is close to the ideal, but it's not getting a cigar just yet. Okay? So this is that whatever you're doing to get that appreciation or pay or whatever it is, you're very close to having it dialed in, but not quite yet. Now, Nine of Batons talks about making preparations, getting ready for something. All right? So I'm assuming when you realize something isn't totally dialed in yet, you're going to dial it in. And then you're making preparations, and what you're making preparations for is this Two of Coins in reverse. You're making preparations to start really focusing, to quit scattering your energy so much and start really focusing on the priorities, the important things. That's going to be your key here, is to tweak this by focusing on the things that are really important, and then you'll start to see. Because right now you're just scattering your energy. You're trying to do too much, and so people aren't seeing enough benefit for them to really go, oh my goodness, look at that. When you're really focused, that's going to switch things up for you, and then you'll start to get that appreciation or that pay or whatever it is that you're looking for. I hope that makes sense for you, Sunflower. It has been ages. It has been ages. I've been thinking about that lately. All right, let's see. Well, how many are in the room? 5 people. So let's pick a number between 1 and 10. I'm going to write it down so I don't forget it while I'm reading you guys' numbers. First person to pick the number I just wrote down is going to be the next person I read for today. Number between 1 and 10. You're quite welcome, my dear. I'm glad I could help. 7 is not it. By the way, guys, super chats are never required, but always appreciated. And don't forget, if you have a question and I don't get to you on this stream, I do offer one-question readings on my website. You can check that out and see if I'm the right person for you for that. 6 also is not it. Who else is guessing? Who else wants a reading? Number between 1 and 10, and it's not 7 and it's not 6. Thank you for the thumbs ups, guys. I appreciate those. Everyone, remember to share this video around too. I'm going to be here a while, so share the video around so other people can benefit from it as well, please. Kedria or Kedria, I'm not sure how to say your name, but I'm glad you're here. Welcome. And you won with that 3. You're the next person I'm reading for, my dear. Are you new in the room, Kedria? By the way, guys, if you appreciate videos like this and you don't happen to be subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Ba-ba-da-da. Ba-ba-da-da. Yay! Well, what a nice little welcome surprise for you then. Okay, so here's the deal. Whenever you win, I give you a choice. Either I can answer one question for you. I don't answer health questions, and I don't tell you when somebody's going to kick the bucket, but pretty much anything else is on the table. Or I can bring through a message from Spirit, which would just be, if we were playing poker, we would call it Spirit's choice. Spirit just gets to pick what they want to talk to you about. So it's up to you. Do you want a question answered, or do you want a Spirit choice? Oh, I'm so sorry, One Divine. You might have to, it might help to refresh the page, though. I've heard that it does before. Spirit's choice. Okay. Message from Spirit for Ms. Kedria, please. What would you like to talk to her about? So, Kedria, the first two cards are going to be the situation Spirit wants to talk to you about. After that, we'll have three cards that are going to talk about a best heads up or advice for that situation. Also, with Spirit's choice, this can be something in the past where Spirit wants you to have a different perspective, can be present, or it can be something coming in the future. Generally, with this spread, if it is something coming in the future, that's going to be happening within the next 48 hours. I wouldn't really be looking for it after that. Got it all sorted. Okay, I like it. Kedria, here we go. Bum-ba-da-da. Bum-ba-da-da. Okay, you have an interesting little situation here, my dear. All right, so what we're looking at here. Oh, by the way, guys, be on the lookout for piggyback messages. So just because I'm reading for Kedria doesn't mean that Spirit might not put a message on the piggyback of this one for you. If you notice it resonating, make good use of it in your life. All right, Kedria, you've got the Hermit showing up in reverse, covered by La Force with the Strength card, also showing up in reverse. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, I don't flip out on reverses. They're not even necessarily worse than the right side up. Sometimes they're better. So we don't flip out just because something's in reverse. So here's the deal, Kedria. With the Hermit showing up in reverse, this tells me that you have taken some time to go off by yourself and think some things through, sort some things out, figure out what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, maybe even what makes you trigger. If you're feeling ambitious, you might even deactivate a trigger while you're out there by yourself. And now that the Hermit's coming up in reverse, this talks about the idea that now that you've done that, you're coming into the world again with your new priorities, ready to act on these new priorities that you've thought through. All right? But you have the Strength card covering this up in reverse. When the Strength card is in reverse, this tells me that your self-esteem is a little bit lower than is actually healthy. So even though you've set these new priorities, you may not have that much belief in yourself that you can actually do those. And so if you continue like this, the first person that comes across you is just going to knock you off your horse. So there's going to have to be some self-esteem work here so that you can achieve the goals and the targets that you want to achieve. All right? That's what I'm seeing so far. That's the situation that Spirit wants to talk to you about. All right, so best advice or heads up shows up on these next three cards. Best advice or heads up starts off with the Valet de Deniers. That's basically the Page of Coins. He's shown up in reverse. Nine of Coins. That's very interesting. And the Four of Coins. All right, so apparently what you're not sure about has to do with money, 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 honey, because all three of these cards are money. Now, let me backtrack that a little bit. Coins generally are money, but sometimes they show up as energy. They can show up as vitality, how much energy you have to go through the day. Are you feeling enthusiastic and happy and bouncy? Or are you feeling like you're just kind of slumping and barely making it until nap time? You know? So that can be what coins are about too. Either way, I really think right now this has to do, well, it could be either one. I'm going to read it like it's money because it feels more strongly like money to me. Okay? So this is telling me that in this situation where you have set your new priorities, but you're not sure if you can actually reach them, the reason I think you're not sure that you can reach them is because you got in some kind of message about money or material goods that is not the kind of message we want to hear. Maybe you thought you were getting a Christmas bonus or a New Year's bonus, and that did not happen. Maybe you thought you were going to get this fantastic, wonderful job that pays $59,000 an hour, and that did not happen. Whatever it is, this is some kind of news about money or material goods that we don't want to hear, okay? So that's the first thing that we have showing up. So that tells me a little bit about why your self-esteem is hitting this low, because you may be questioning whether you can pull this off financially. Now, Nine of Coins comes up right behind this. Nine of Coins tells me you're perfectly independent and self-sufficient. You've got this. You've got this. You have the confidence issue because something came in that's not the best news ever, but basically this is saying it's time to step back to look at this in a more objective way. And as you look at it in a more objective way, you're going to realize, you know what? Yeah, that's kind of a bummer, but it's not something I can't bounce back from. I'm going to bounce back from it. And I think you're going to bounce back from it pretty easily because we end up with the Four of Coins, which tells me that you're stashing some money away or holding some money back for the future or for future plans. All right. So whatever this is that you went into isolation for and that you realized is your new priority, don't give up on it. And start working on that self-esteem, that self-image. Start seeing yourself actually doing whatever this is your goal. Start envisioning that and let that come to be in your life. You're quite welcome, quite welcome. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, honey bunny. I do daily predictions for every single sign every single day on this channel as well. All right, I guess I need to pick another number. We have 7 people in the room, so I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 14. And whoever guesses that number first will be the next person I read for. So, number between 1 and 14. And you guys, if I have not already read for you, if you haven't already won, then just you can guess as many times as you want until you get the number. 12 is not it. Debbie Hancock, hey, welcome. Glad you're here. 11 is not it. 14 is not it. Kitty, hey, I don't know if I've seen you live on YouTube before. Glad you're here. You guys keep guessing. Number between 1 and 14. 10 is not it. 13, Angela Lukes is the winner. Do you want a question answered, Miss Angela, or do you want a message from Spirit? I think you were asking me a question earlier. I'm around. I still do my Facebook Lives on Wednesday mornings for heaven's sake. And just about every Saturday. Okay. Angela, you got to remind me a little bit more about that question than just one word, honey bunny. What's your actual question? Oh, you're quite welcome, Miss Debbie. Okay, Angela asked me the whole question. Don't feed me bits and pieces. I'm waiting on you, honey bunny, because I want to give you a nice specific answer. So go ahead and ask me a nice specific question. This is your time. Don't try to rush it. By the way, guys, be on the lookout for piggyback messages. If you notice that something is resonating for you, then you want to make good use of that message in your life. Okay. Angela wants to know, will she be moving to an apartment on the 3rd floor by the end of this month? Let's find out. I'm going to say yes. I think that you will be. Here's what else I'm going to tell you, just looking at these cards, Miss Angela, is it's going to be a good idea to, if you're not already, to start stashing back some money, because it looks to me like you're going to be spending money on that you're not expecting to. So I don't know if that's when you're moving in, you're going to personalize it and it's going to cost more money than you're expecting, or what it is, but try to be ready, try to hold some money back for whatever may come up whenever you move. But yes, I do see you moving by the end of January to an apartment on the 3rd floor. All right, let's see. How many are in the room now? 6. Let's pick a number between 1 and 12. And whoever guesses that number is going to be the next person that I read for. Number between 1 and 12. Anybody who I haven't read for already? If I haven't read for you already, you can guess as many times as you want. 6 is not it. 3 is not it. 1 divine path. You won it with a 9. Look at that. That was fast. Ah, gotcha, Miss Angela. Okay, 1 divine path. Do you want a question answered or do you want a message from Spirit, honey bunny? Guys, don't forget to put a thumbs up on this video and share it if you're finding it beneficial for yourselves. A lot of other people might find help in it too. I appreciate y'all being here. Okay, you're going to have to tell me your question, honey, because I don't remember it. Put your question in the chat box, if you will, please. If there's anybody here that I don't get to that you want to have a question answered, I do offer 1-question readings on my website. You can check that out and see if you would like to do that or get a live reading. If you think that I do well on these little mini readings, you should certainly get a 30-minute reading from me. You'll enjoy it. 1 divine path. What is your question, my dear? Still waiting for you. There may just be some delay on the line, too. Well, I'm waiting for 1 divine path question. Let's pick our next number and our next person and get them in the batter's box. I'm picking a number between 1 and 14. Whoever picks that number first is going to be the next person I read to after 1 divine path. Number between 1 and 14. Is it 3? It is not. Okay, let's see. 3 is not it. That's a great question. I will tell you 10 is not it. I'm not necessarily the expert on finding things, but I will help you as much as I can. 7 is not it. It does rhyme with 7. Kitty, you have beautiful hair in that picture, by the way. You're quite welcome. Debbie Hancock with 11. You won it. Debbie Hancock is next. I better write down your name, otherwise I won't remember. You guys know how I am. Okay. Oh, you were just a little slow on your 11. Okay, Kitty, so whenever I get to Debbie's, I want you to check and see if you get a piggyback message, because a lot of times when people end up guessing the same number that's a winner and it just gets to me at different times, many times both people actually get a message out of that. So I want you to pay attention then. But really, everybody pay attention for piggyback messages all the time. Right now, we're doing a reading for 1 divine path. Something precious. Can be at home or in a safe place, but could not find it when I looked last. Where can she find? Where can she find this precious thing? I think I want to use my Lenormand to help me with this one. Tell me what the precious thing is, will you? So I want to kind of see if I can get into that thing's energy. Earrings. Okay. I am hearing that you did put them in a safe place, and I'm also hearing that they are up high. They're in a box, but I'm having a hard time telling if it's a wood box or a paper box. And I feel like the box has colors on it, so it's not like a plain, it's not like a white jeweler's box or something like that. It is a box that has colors on it. I feel like if you look in a closet on one of the higher shelves, and I'm going to say it feels like it's near the end of the shelf to me, like maybe by a corner, but definitely near the end of a shelf. It's not going to be in the middle. And I also feel like it's kind of gotten knocked or pushed towards the back. So you may have to, get a step stool and get up there and start pulling things out of that shelf to be able to actually see it. And like I said, finding things is not my specialty. So if I just sent you on a wild goose chase, I apologize, but hopefully it's not. Yeah, it feels home to me. It feels like homey energy where I'm seeing this shelf. It feels like in a closet. Not like a work closet. I didn't notice a lot of like paper supplies and stuff like that. Yeah, it didn't feel like a public place. You're quite welcome. Alrighty. Next up was Debbie, and possibly also Kitty. We'll see what happens. All right, Debbie. You said message from Spirit, didn't you? Yes, Spirit message for Debbie. Let's see what shows up for Miss Debbie Hancock. La da da da. La da da da. Oh, while I'm doing this, can you guys guess what's in my background? What is, trying to point at it, what's hanging there near the ceiling? Can anybody guess? It looks really bad, but it's really not. I'm actually organized there. Okay, Debbie Hancock. All right, honey bunny, sleep well and have a fantastic day tomorrow. Debbie Hancock. Ooh, baby. Oh, yeah, you're looking back behind my head on the other side. That actually is a fairy that I was presented with. It's a little porcelain. I think it's porcelain or ceramic fairy. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's got a lot of really nice details to it. It's a Native American fairy, and I got it because I did a fundraiser at Blush and Blue for some kind of charity that helped inner city kids. I can't remember exactly. And yeah, and so they liked that I helped them raise some money, and they gave me that as a thank you gift. Yep, but that actually wasn't what I was talking about. That's on the other side of my head. If you look over on the wall, hanging on the wall behind the peace sign, up a little higher, that's what I was wondering if people could guess. You got pretty close with your guess on the other, though, Kitty. All right, what do we have here? This is for Debbie. All right, here's your situation, my dear. You have La Diablo in reverse. So we've got the devil in reverse. We always like the devil in reverse better than the devil right side up. So we like that card in reverse. And you've got the 8 of Cups. In this case, I actually think it's a good thing for it to be in reverse. I don't always like the 8 of Cups in reverse, but this time I do. So when we have the devil in reverse, this tells me that there's some kind of situation that was toxic or there was a fear that was controlling you, or there was an obsession or an addiction that sort of had control over you. Okay, now, when it comes up in reverse, this says, not anymore, baby. That fear is not making you quake in your boots anymore. You've already looked at whatever this is that's been controlling you, and you've kind of evaluated it and went, yeah, this is not my choice to cave into you anymore. Whether it's a fear, addiction, obsession, whatever, you're choosing that this thing does not have power over you. Okay? Now, Eight of Cups in reverse. Eight of Cups when it's right side up. Let's understand that first, then you'll understand the Eight of Cups in reverse. When it's right side up, we're walking away from something that has made us feel depleted or exhausted. Okay? So when the card comes up in reverse, it says now we're walking back to something that in the past made us feel depleted or exhausted. The reason I like this walking back is because now we're walking back to the Devil in reverse. Okay? So this tells me, and I don't know exactly what your situation is, and I don't want to know all your dirty laundry, especially in a public place like this, but let's just say for an example that you had some kind of addiction or something that you beat. Okay, you would have beat this addiction in the past, and you would have been going straight, sober, whatever. You would have been going without that addiction and living a more healthy life in the past, but because this is coming up right side up, in reverse, this tells me that at one point you walked away from that. So basically, if we want to say it the way people would have said it when I was a little kid, you fell off the wagon. You quit being sober or straight, or you quit being strong against this fear, whatever it is, you got fearful again, whatever, you fell off the wagon. Now we see you getting back up on that wagon again. We see you getting to that point where you're saying again to this thing that had control over you, no, I'm still not letting you have control over me. You might have won for a day or two or for however long it was, but you don't get to have control over me. So you're walking back into that place of power where you're taking control over whatever this was that was sort of pulling your strings for a while. Okay? Now, best advice or heads up around this situation of getting back on the wagon and getting life straightened out and more healthy. First of all, we have Le Chariot. Not hard to translate that. That's the chariot. We also have the Eight of Coins showing up in reverse. King of Swords in reverse. Okay, there's a lot of different ways that this can manifest. The Chariot for me, I feel like that has something to do with transportation for you. Okay? So, the Eight of Coins showing up in reverse says, this isn't working. And the King of Swords behind that in reverse says that there's some kind of grumpy character on the scene, somebody who's moody. All right? So this could very much be that for you to stay on the track you want to be on, it could be that it's not a good idea to ride with or catch a ride with or give a ride to somebody who is moody, because they might tempt you. Say you're trying to give up drinking. They may drive you to drink. They're driving you crazy. So it might not be a good idea to be exposed to that person. Might not be a good idea to give them a ride or catch a ride with them. Okay? Now, there may be something else going on here too, because that Chariot talks about transportation, Eight of Coins talks about not working. Maybe you have a situation that now that you are getting back to where you're straightening your life back out again, now you're not really wanting to give a ride to this person, and so you're really enjoying your vehicle or your transportation, whatever that is. You're enjoying your time in transit. And then for others of you, it could be A very lucky break, or I guess this should be for Debbie, but for whoever's piggyback also. Could be a very lucky break that your car actually is not working, even though it makes somebody else grumpy. Now they can't ride with you. All right. It all kind of centers around the idea that it's not a good idea to have somebody riding with you or to be riding with them because they're moody and they kind of take away from the work that you've done to not let whatever this is control you anymore. So I hope that makes sense for you. It kind of was all over the place. But that also tells me we've got piggybacks because I was hearing so many different stories on that ending. But I hope it makes sense. Nobody has any guesses about what's hanging in the corner of my room? Those are my little velveteen mats that I put my cards on whenever I'm doing videos and reading. You just had your car in the shop. That would be the Chariot with the Eight of Pentacles. That's the car not working. Was your mechanic a grumpy person, or was there somebody else who was being all grumpy about the whole idea that the car was not available? That King of Swords in reverse is my moody person. I mean, you could have been moody about it, but I would like to think that my viewers are not those type of people. I would like to think that we are all perfect and we walk around on clouds all day, every day. How many people do we have in the room? We have 10. Hello there, Sarah. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing, honey bunny? Oh, gotcha. Well, that's cool. That makes sense. And the previous advisor being right next to that Eight of Coins in reverse, that says that they weren't working too. I love it. That's cute. All right, so let's see. Number between 1 and 10. I'm writing it down right now and circling it. So whoever gets a number between 1 and 10 first, that's going to be the next person that I read for. I'm glad you're doing all right. I'm fantastic, my dear. 10 is not it. Kitty, by the way, Kitty, did you get a piggyback off of that? Sarah got 7. That's not it. You guys can guess as many times as you want as long as I haven't already read for you in this live stream. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da. Nobody's going to guess again? Three is not it. Number between 1 and 10. Ba-ba-da-da-da. Ba-ba-da-da. Ba-ba-da-da-da. Oh, yeah. I didn't call your name, so yes, you can. And actually, you just won, Kitty. So, Kitty, what's your question? Guys, don't forget to share this video with others if you're getting a benefit from it, and put a thumbs up on it so that YouTube knows it's worthwhile to pass it along to other people. Oh, let's put a time frame on that, Kitty. What kind of time frame do you want to find another job by? What would be ideal for you? Okay, within the next 3 weeks. Today is what, the 8th? So by the end of day 29th. Well, Miss Kitty find a job that is, how did we word that? Will Miss Kitty find a better job by end of day, January the 29th. Bum-ba-da-da. Well, you're funny. I think you will. I just don't think you'll start another job by then. I'll show you why not. You've got the Two of Coins showing up in reverse, which tells me that you have jobs to pick from between now and then. You have the Three of Swords in reverse, which talks about things getting better where you're working right now. Two of Swords in reverse, which means now I'm confused. I don't know if I want a new job or the same job. Judgment card, you are made some kind of offer. I don't know if you walk away and they offer you to hold your place for you, or if you say you're thinking about something else and they offer you something better, but you have some kind of offer coming up here. And this is interesting because you've got the Five of Cups. I think what's happening is you're getting your mind all set for this idea of a new job. And I think you're going to end up staying at the old job. And I think you're going to be feeling a little bit disappointed because it's not so adventurous to stay at the old job. It's kind of boring. But I think that they're making you an offer that you cannot refuse. That's what I think. And that will happen within the next 3 weeks. So, yeah, you're going to have options. I think you're going to stay right where you are. And I don't know that they would give you a good option if you weren't looking for something else, to be honest. You know, people don't tend to do something when they're comfortable. It's when they're uncomfortable that they tend to make changes. So if they think that you're fine with how things are and you're not going to go anywhere, they're not going to try to change anything until they see you getting ready to hit the door. Well, I would really love to read on which one would be better for you to take, supervisor or a trainer. If you want a 1-question reading or a 30-minute reading, either one, that would be fun to dig into. We can also look for advice to see if you can detoxify the job in a different position. So how many are in the room? We've got 4 in the room. I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 8, and that's going to be the next person that I read for. What number am I going to pick? I haven't picked that one yet. Okay, number between 1 and 8. If I have not already read for you, you can guess as many times as you like. That's something that you have to schedule with me. Check out my website and see if a 30-minute reading or a 1-question reading works for you. 1 or 2-question, either one. And then get a hold of me. I do a lot of readings by phone or by Skype. You don't always have to catch me up, for heaven's sake. So I think you've got kind of a drive to get down there anyway, if I remember right. Okay, number between 1 and 8. You're quite welcome, quite welcome. Number between 1 and 8. Whoever picks that number will be the person that I read for next. Yeah, I was thinking so. Bum-ba-da-da. Kitty, are you on my mailing list yet? For my newsletter? Are you getting my newsletter on Sunday evenings? I guess nobody else wants a reading. Ba-ba-da-da-da. Ba-ba-da-da. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da. All right, well, we don't have anybody guessing. I guess that means I've read for everybody sitting in the room right now. Not hearing back from Kitty. I don't know if Kitty already left. If anybody would like to start getting my newsletters on Sunday evenings, all you have to do is email me your name and your birthday, and I'll use that email address and I'll add you to my email list. What I send out is usually a little bit of a reading for each sign. And then we also announce any kind of contest where you can win free readings. We announce any kind of classes that I'm teaching. And what else? Any other promotions that I'm having. So if you guys are interested in getting the newsletter, just email me at my normal email, which is amista333@yahoo.com. I'm going to need your name and your birthday to put you on the contact list. Okay. So yeah, so I was asking if you are on my newsletter list. I don't think you are you? I think you should be. I think you would get something out of it. I think everybody would, actually. Ba-ba-da-da-ba. Just email me, and whatever email you use to email me, I'll put that on the list. And you want to email me your name and your birthday. And I'm going to type my email address here into the chat. And I think I've also got a link down in my description box you can use and sign up automatically there too. I think I've put that there. You're quite welcome. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it. Looks like I've read for everybody who's in the room that wants a reading. So thank you guys very much for being here and hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys back on the next video. Peace.